for how much longer can this Goldilocks state of affairs persist?
Well, first of all, Eric, I agree with you. We should pause and think about these natural disasters and the tragedy in Las Vegas. All of this reminds you how tender life is, and we all have to respect that. And remember our loved ones and our friends all the time.
It's true.
And you forgot about Tom Petty, too. I mean, I'm not sure if it's a Goldilocks market. I actually believe, to my surprise, and I think to many people's surprise, how resilient the world has become. You have China that's growing close to 7%. You actually had surveys that just came out yesterday of China possibly even accelerating. You had a 5% increase in the Chinese bank stocks today, or in Hong Kong, not because China's closed, but you have a Japan that we witnessed for 20 years, stagnation, and we're seeing last quarter growing at 4%. Let's presume now Japan is growing at 2.5%. You have a Europe that we were all frightened of. We did not believe the outcomes of Europe to be so significant positively. Now, obviously, you had the Catalonia, you had some issues in Spain, but overall, you've had a very aggressive monetary policy by the ECB. You have more talk of political union with Macron and Merkel. You have a banking community that's well capitalized finally after 9 years. And you now are witnessing 2.5% growth in Europe. And then we have the United States, despite whether you are very pro what's happening with Washington or negative, the real economy is doing quite well. The American consumer is feeling good. We have, low 4% unemployment. We are seeing wages going up modestly.
What does it all mean? What does that resiliency, to use your term, mean? Should investors feel more comfortable taking risk than they might have, say, 6 months ago or a year ago?
There's certainly more information that's more positive, and I think the market's reflecting that. And I do believe the markets overseas represent probably more value than the United States. They certainly are trading at lower PEs. The opportunity there is probably greater. We as the largest nation in the world, and economic force, we actually have more uncertainty than other places in the world right now. Are we going to have successful tax reform? And how is that going to all play out? And we'll know that in the next 2 to 6 months.
Since you brought up the topic.
Let me just finish one last thing, excuse me. I think we're going to have to see corporate earnings in the next few weeks. In the second quarter, corporate earnings were quite strong. And from what we are hearing, corporate earnings are going to be fine in the third quarter. So you're seeing all the different points that lead you to believe that the markets are fine. And I would call it Goldilocks. The markets are fine and are going to do fine between now and year end.